Do you feel like going through Phallo has changed the way you interact in public? Yes, I do, because I feel a lot less insecure. I feel like very complete and everything is in its place, so it's almost like I walk with better posture, my head held high, especially when I'm going into the men's locker room. I no longer have this question of, are people gonna wonder if I'm in the right locker room? I feel like I could change in the locker room without anyone second guessing me, that sort of thing. Is it discouraging waiting for multiple stages of surgery? That's my biggest worry about proceeding with surgery. Yes and no. I mean, it can be, but I think that ultimately it ends up being worth the wait, or you just get used to waiting, because honestly, after stage 1, you do not want to have surgery again for quite, like, you want a break. Some rest after stage 1 was welcomed. I didn't have glandsplasty for, I think, 3 months later, and even then I was still like, ugh, another surgery. So it seems like it's prolonging everything and it sucks, but you'll be thankful for the rest in between. Do you still have any gender dysphoria after the surgeries? Is there anything you could have done differently if you could go back in time? The only thing I would have done differently is to done this all sooner. I think that's ultimately everything I think about is just transitioning sooner in life. As far as gender dysphoria, do I still have it? I think I get most dysphoric still about my eyebrows, and sometimes my hips will give me some moments where I don't like how pants look, or my height maybe sometimes. But I think I've always kind of pictured myself as a small guy, so I don't feel any less masculine for being short. I think I just feel small. What is it like dating and finding a relationship after your surgery? I haven't honestly done any dating since my last relationship. It's still pretty daunting and scary just because there's still gonna be a little bit of a difference. I'm basically a dude with like erectile dysfunction at this point. So like, I feel like any guy who couldn't get it up would have to say something before they had sex, or like, it's gonna be awkward. So that's kind of how I feel at this point. As much as I don't want to disclose being trans to someone, to start off, I guess it would be kind of easier. That way there's less there's less investing in someone if they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not into that, sorry, peace out, at like 3 months or something. Yeah, I'll let you know more on that when I actually start dating. What is the hardest part of recovering? The hardest part for me for recovering is always time away from the gym, because it's like my way to cope. You know, I hate losing progress. I've been working so hard in the gym lately. I mean, always. So losing muscle after working so hard to gain muscle is always a sad thing. Plus, it's just like how I manage my stress and my anxiety. So that's always the hardest part of recovering. I just don't do well not moving and that sort of thing. So, you know, it can get a little bit lonely too. But I think, you know, I'll still continue working this time around, so I'll have work to do. It's not like I'm gonna have downtime, I'm just not gonna be able to work out. What was the process of finding a surgeon? How did I decide on Chen? I was actually originally going to go to Dr. Crane before he left for Texas, but lucky for me, he left for Texas, so basically my only option ended up being Chen. I mean, not my only option, but it was really easy for me to go from Crane to Chen. And by the time I was able to get my date and stuff with Chen, I had already started, you know, being able to see some results or hearing how people did with Chen, and I was able to book a consultation with him. And I had my consultation with him, and immediately I just felt at ease. He answered all my questions. He was super nice. He didn't sugarcoat things. I feel like Dr. Crane was very optimistic and almost overly optimistic in my consultation with him, and I felt a little bit like he had a sales pitch for me for Phalloplasty versus like I kind of went in to talk to Dr. Crane about metoidioplasty because I thought that's what I wanted originally, but he kind of like switched it around to where he was like, no, you don't want metoidioplasty, you want phalloplasty. And so that kind of like turned me off a little bit. But when I saw Dr. Chen and I asked him about meta and I asked him about phalloplasty, he didn't push either one on me. He was very much like, it's up to you. So after getting my priorities in line of what I wanted out of bottom surgery, it was determined that phalloplasty was the best option for me. But just knowing that he wasn't trying to sell me on any certain surgery or push me in any direction was the best part, and he's just super relatable. And I think that when it comes to picking a surgeon, something that is also important is knowing that you're going to get good aftercare. Dr. Chen is super responsive for aftercare, so you kind of just always feel like you're going to be taken care of if an emergency happens. You don't want a surgeon that's not going to answer his phone or the emails and have you be like having a major issue and not really having someone to help you out. So always make sure to check that the aftercare with that surgeon is going to be even better than, you know, your pre-op and all that stuff. That's my biggest suggestion in finding a surgeon. Do I recommend getting fit before phallo? Yes, I do. It's a huge surgery, so I would recommend going into this surgery as healthy as possible. There's no guarantee that being fit and healthy is gonna make it so you have less complications, but it's going to help you deal better with complications. So yes, just get fit, and if you're getting ALT phalloplasty, you're gonna wanna get your body fat down, or else you're gonna have a rather large So yeah, if you're having ALT, which is a graft from your leg, you're gonna wanna get your body fat down, or else you're gonna have like a big, unless that's what you want, fair enough. Does your pee have any strength? For example, can you pee far away from the toilet, or could you pee sitting in a car with a bottle? So yes, what I consider dick tattooing. Okay, so yes, my pee does have strength to it. I can definitely pee from further away from the toilet. And it also depends if you have a stricture. I think my pee used to have more strength to it, but it still has a good amount. I could stand, you know, I don't have to stand like up over the toilet or anything like that. It's a good healthy strength. As far as dick tattooing goes, yeah, I would do it. It looks awesome. I've seen some results for that. The thing, the other reason that I wouldn't is just that it's embarrassing, and I also can't really imagine how that would feel. I don't know if it would be painful per se, but I feel like it would be like too weird of a sensation for me to handle. Yeah, those nerves are just weird a little bit after. So kudos to people who have done it, but I'm scared. I'm sorry if this is too personal, please just ignore it if it is, but what happened to your bottom growth? What do they do with it on the surgery? Again, okay, so what they do with your bottom growth, it's still there, it's just buried underneath your dick, in a sense. That's not the most scientific way to explain it, but it's not like it's gone. It's what they attach all the nerves to for like erotic sensation. So yeah, it's there. How long do you think people need care for after? Are there services like in-home nurses that could help if you don't have family to do so? So I'd probably say you need care at least for a good 2 weeks out of the hospital. After like you get your catheter out and all that stuff, it gets a little bit easier, but you are gonna be pretty rough for a bit. It's a big surgery. As far as in-home nursing and stuff like that, that's something you could probably ask your insurance if they cover it. Some insurances cover it, some don't, or if you can find like a nursing facility that you could go to, that might be a possibility. I don't know. What % body fat do you need for ALT, and why didn't I choose that option? I'm not sure. I don't think there's a set body fat for ALT. The lower the better, so that your girth isn't insane. I didn't choose that because I didn't want to be too girthy. I'm a pretty lean person, but sometimes that still yields like too girthy of a penis than I would prefer for myself, and it could mean like potentially more surgeries like liposuction to get down the girth. The sensitivity is supposedly better using your forearm, so that's basically what made me decide let's go for the forearm. But, you know, I don't know what ALT phalloplasty feels like sensitivity-wise, so I don't know. I just have my own experience. Are you able to feel yourself peeing, and is it hard to control when peeing? Yes, I can feel myself peeing. No, it's not hard to control. It feels exactly like it used to. So, yeah. How long on average does the pain last after surgery? It depends what part. The arm, between the arm and the phallus and the scrotoplasty and the vaginectomy, it all like can still be painful depending on what you're doing for like 2 to 3 months afterwards. I think like once I hit like 8 weeks, I was feeling pretty good, but if you still like sit wrong, you can still feel it, or you can't sit upright without feeling some sort of pain. So it's definitely like the longest lasting painful surgery. Excruciating pain, I think maybe like after like the first and second day after getting home from the hospital, when I had some like weird sensations, it was a little bit hard. I had like some burning going on in the vaginectomy area, but nerves are weird after they've been cut, so I think that's what it mostly was. Can you take showers after you get the surgery? Yes, but you have to wait like a week after you get home from the hospital, I think, if I remember correctly. And then you can't really get your arm wet for like 2 weeks or something like that. But you have to wait a bit to shower, but yes, you can eventually when they give you the okay. How long did I have to go to therapy for my arm? I think it was like 6 weeks, if I remember. Yeah. How long till you can have sex? They say to wait 6 weeks. Yeah, right. I would wait 12. Maybe 8. Can you come out of your penis at all? No, you can I can orgasm, but like I can't produce cum. How long do you recommend to stay out of work, school to recover from the surgery? It depends what your line of work is. If it was really physical like mine, I would say just take the whole 12 weeks of, you know, rest time, because moving around after the surgery is not the most pleasant. I tried to go back at 8 weeks and it still wasn't enough because I had a really physical job, but it's all individual. Maybe you'll heal faster. When you get surgery for testicles, the surgeons usually give you 1 or 2. I'd be pissed if they only gave me 1. Here's your balls, but we're only giving you 1. So yeah, they give you 2 unless you're getting an erectile device that involves the pump, which if you're getting the pump, then they put the pump in one of your one of your testicle spots in your scrotum. So you get 1 testicle and 1 pump for your balls, but I'm not getting that, so yeah, I think I'll have 2. I'm gonna count them when I wake up too. I'll be like 1, yeah, okay, we're good. Just kidding. Yeah, this is a really long video, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. I just want to really emphasize that your expectations going into surgery could be, you know, a little different than the reality as far as sensation goes and as far as looks goes. Like, I'm really happy with how mine looks, but I think that it's almost like a cheap shot if people just say, I don't want to have phalloplasty because it doesn't look real. That honestly kind of hurts when I hear people say that. I just honestly feel like they're not educated on the subject, and that's all they can really like express, is that it doesn't look real, it's not advanced enough. But I think if anyone is serious about it and they do the research and they see more results, then they're gonna be much happier with how it looks, and maybe perhaps you won't say so much that it doesn't look real. Yeah, it looks real enough. I've been recording for so long, my camera just turned off. So that's my cue to get going. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, but I want to give out as much information as possible. So if you want more informational videos, if you want to ask more questions, if there's other topics you want me to cover when it comes to phalloplasty or anything, suggest them down below and I'll make sure to get to them when I can. And that's it. Peace out, guys. I'll see you next time.